The US Open begins in New York, of course, amid the coronavirus backdrop of that and social unrest. So there'll be no fans per se in the Arthur Ashe Stadium. Players will be in a bubble. We've had one positive test so far. Many of the top contenders are absent. At the same time, the athletes are at the centre of the reckoning around race as well. Michael Dowse is with me, the CEO of US Tennis Association. Joins me from the Billie Jean King Tennis Centre in New York. Michael, it is good to see you. And we'll talk about the other issues. Let's just deal with the Open. Talk about the Open first. The virtual boxes, concerts, recipes, player suites, online things. I can see what you're doing and I applaud you for it. But I wonder, at the end of the day, they're going to be playing behind closed doors.
Right. Well, Richard, thanks for having me on the show. I would say, yes, it's behind closed doors and there may not be fans on site, but we know there's going to be tens of millions of fans around the world watching. And we know people love tennis, and whenever we can get the greatest tennis athletes in the world playing on the stage of the US Open, it's a pretty cool thing. So our goal is really to inspire people around the world. You know, we do miss our fans on site, but we do know many of them can enjoy it through our broadcast partners.
Arguably, of course, well, not arguably, it's simply a fact that many more people will watch it online, sorry, or on TV, online, whatever, than could ever fit into the stadium. So in that regard, I'm fascinated by this Watson relationship that you've got with IBM that will use AI to recreate the sound of fans as it would at that point in a match with that amount of, that particular match play. That's fascinating.
Yeah, we're learning in real time, Richard. We never had a playbook to run a Grand Slam during a pandemic, but our partners at IBM were very creative, and they had all the sound from last year's US Open. They've taken that, run their AI magic, and they're going to match it up with this year's matches. And as we start today, we'll quickly learn how that works, but I'm excited that we're trying it.
And also the sponsorship. You still have Chase, and Chase is still involved with the concert, and you've still got IBM, and you've got Watson. How important or significant is the loss of revenue from ticket sales and corporate sponsorship and boxes and the like?
Sure, it is significant. We're pretty transparent. We're a nonprofit organization, and our net operating income will be down 80% this year. But through our reserves and our line of credit, we can still offer, it's actually 97% of the total compensation for last year's, and we can still continue to fund our community tennis here in the United States, which is really, the essence of our organization is to promote and grow the sport of tennis. And
finally, the techniques being used, the ingenuity, the screens and all of these things. Give me a gut feel, Michael, rather than just a sort of a factual recitation, but from inside you, how difficult, challenging, professional has it had to be to put together a US Open that still has the centre of tennis while still being safe?
Yeah, we know when these great athletes get on the court, it's going to be a great product. The big challenges were so many stakeholders had to be involved, and we had to collaborate with so many people to make this happen. If you think about it, we have players from over 60 countries in the world. We have the ATP Tour for the men's, the WTA Tour for the women's, the City of New York, the State of New York, and the federal government. We had to align all those organizations to make sure we could do this in a healthy and safe way. So that's where we've spent really the majority of our time the last 3 or 4 months.
Good to see you, Michael. Congratulations on managing to, the mere fact you've got an event up and running in such difficult times, and please God, may it be safe as it goes through. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Richard.